Well, my background begins about 5,000 years ago when I came from outer space and I landed on the planet to start civilization. Of course, I'm talking about my DNA history. I'm sorry. I was born August 20th, 1965 in New York City, a place called Park Slope, Brooklyn, before gentrification took place. Now, the Hare Krishnas used to come around the homeless shelters all the time and feed the homeless. And they used to ask, does anybody want to help or volunteer to feed the homeless? And I would help and volunteer. Now, of course, later on that night, when I got back to the shelter, the other clients at the shelter, and that's what they called them, clients, they would tease me about me hanging out with the Hare Krishnas or me being a Hare Krishna. So they say, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna. I took it as no big deal, but then my nickname became Krishna. So I took that and formed KRS. So I started to write KRS all over the walls of the Bronx. Suddenly other people started writing KRS-S, KRES, KRIS. I started to write KRS-One, the original. When I returned back to my metaphysical training, at this time, Criminal Minded was out, doing well. Scott LaRock was fatally shot and killed. This was a blow to my heart, my mind, and my soul. But at the same time, it was also a blow to my career. People started to say, Boogie Down Productions is over. Well, Chris, you had a good career. But of course, I wouldn't look at it that way. I saw Scott LaRock as now my spiritual guide, the overseer of what it is I was doing from this moment on, and looked at it as the beginning of Boogie Down Productions. You cannot hold grudges. You cannot sit around and say, oh, Prince B is this and that, or Prince B says KRS-One is this and that.
It wasn't like I was dissing KRS-One, you know, because I wasn't, you know. If he was a teacher to me, you know what I mean? And he was, you know, his music was very eye-opening to me at the time. It's just that, I was just questioning. It wasn't, I was doing the same thing KRS says, you know, just to question everything.
It would only be correct in response for me to extend that same respect. The beef does not continue. It is something that happened, it's over, and it's done with. Maybe eventually in the future we might do records together, maybe movies together. Maybe he might throw me off the stage. Who knows? The point of the matter here is that two spiritual leaders have come together again.